Johnny's New York Style Pizza in LaGrange to give you the inside scoop on LaGrange Grangers football.
Well, good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Coach's Corner live here from Johnny's Pizza. Thank you, Greg. Coach looked up from his pizza, so he's doing good over there. So there you go. All right. And we're ready to talk LaGrange High School football. I'm here with Coach Chuck Gibbs and pretty much his coaching staff over there, it looks like. You brought Coach Hardy, Coach Watson's over there. Got the AD. Everybody just wants to be out here at Johnny's Pizza tonight, Coach.
Yeah, with the AD over there, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, maybe he's going to pay for everything, so that's maybe that's a good thing. But it's great for you to join us tonight, Coach. Don't know how to say it other than another tough one this past week against really a very powerful team, a team that scored a lot of points all season. I was just looking back. They put 38 on one team, 55 on another, 21-26, and all they could put up on y'all is 3. Your defense does an amazing job again against a very powerful offense, but just couldn't get enough into the end zone to go and take away the victory.
Yeah, we lost another baseball game.
Went to a football game and a baseball game.
That baseball score, that 3-2. Again, it's Groundhog Day all over again. I think we're 7 points total cumulative from 3 region games of probably being the third best team in our region. And but again, if you don't execute on all phases of the game, that's you come up shorthanded, and that's where we are. Our kids played hard. That's kind of been the story of our season. The fact that they got fight in them this late in the season, with one victory. And having a winless season last year speaks volumes of who they are as young men,
right?
And their character. And your heart just. I mean, the Cedartown game, and then the Sandy Creek game. Those 3-point games are 1-point game at home on a Thursday night, a short week when you've turned. We played Cedartown with 5 offensive starters out,
right.
So we knew we weren't going to be able to put up a ton of offensive points. But Sandy Creek, we had a game plan going in. We had went up and watched Troop play them, at their place, a few weeks back, and knew what they had and had seen them in game plan. And we opened up and took the ball, had a 14-play drive, and came away with no points. And again, it's just one of those where sometimes they're just not your night. It was the first field goal of the year we've missed.
Right.
Had a backup snapper in. Our starting long snapper got a concussion up in Cartersville. He played great. He played great against Troop, and we had no problems. The snap was maybe a little low. Our young QB backup quarterback Sammy Caputo grabbed it, and set it up, and again we had a kicker, and he missed, and it just happens. And again, after the opening drive, going 14 plays at will,
right?
And we literally ran our first 2 series that I scripted out on offense. We ran every play in that script,
okay.
And had 10 different plays in our 14 drive segment. So we felt great about ourselves and where we were. We were able to execute exactly what we had planned on, and kind of felt like that was going to be our night. Then obviously, the defense is on the field and goes, and we had scripted. We felt like we could block a punt. And so sure enough, man, we dialed it up, and I was sitting there looking at Coach Watson, and, man, as soon as the ball went over the punter's head, I was like, no, it's out of the end zone. That's our third safety that we've gotten this year. I think we've blocked 5 punts. And, again, it's just one of those where, you'll take the 2 points, and they kicked off, and we didn't handle the kickoff return the way we wanted to. And, again, it was just – one of those, and you always go back to your play calling. What did I call that derailed us? What did we do that got us off track? Where did we get behind the chains? Because that's kind of been our nemesis
right.
all year. And it's not a kid, it's not a play, it's not a scheme. It's just we're still in that developmental role. You never want to talk about rebuilding, but we're still trying to teach our kids. We went out today during PE class, 7th period. And I took our quarterback and receivers out, and we laid cones out on the field, and we were going through spacing for our wideouts just from a standpoint. Got a brand-new young, wide receiver coach, and he's learning the game, and we're all kind of on-the-job training right now. And, the future's super bright, and the kids are competing and having fun. And obviously we're putting a good product on the field on Friday nights, but doggone it, we want to come away with a win.
Yep. And we'll talk more about that. A couple more ball games still to go. The opportunity to put some of those wins up. We'll talk more about it when we come back. But right now, you listen to the Coach's Corner live here from Johnny's Pizza right here on Eagle Sports.
Deciding to sell or buy a home is a big step. To make sure it's a step in the right direction, choose the person best qualified to handle your real estate needs. Joel and Rob Upchurch have been breaking sales records every year since 1997. They truly are the real estate leaders in West Georgia. So take a step in the right direction. Contact Joel or Rob Upchurch at RE/MAX Results because they are dedicated to results and converting transactions into relationships.
Hi, football fans. Jonathan Moose Map here from Glenn Smith in Opelika, Alabama. We love this time of year with all the excitement of football, and we also love that Glenn Smith can play a part in supporting high school sports. We support the team, the coaches, the band, the cheerleaders, and of course the families and the fans. At Glenn Smith, we're proud to be your local Chevrolet Buick and GMC dealer with over 500 new and used vehicles every day. Online 24/7 at glennsmith.com. That's Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
There's a secret to beating injuries or ailments. Get the right team. Emory Southern Orthopedics' well-trained, experienced doctors, nurses, and staff are that team. These teammates listen and understand your specific condition and provide high-quality hometown care that will get you back into your game. For more information about Emory Southern Orthopedics team, visit www.southernorthopedics.com.
What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle? A combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more. Because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve?
Your State Farm agent is Matt Orr on the square in downtown LaGrange.
Now back to the Coach's Corner live at Johnny's New York Style Pizza on Eagle 102.3, WLAG 96.9 FM, 1240 AM, and online at eagle1023.com.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner live here from Johnny's Pizza, and we're here with Coach Chuck Gibbs. We're talking about LaGrange High School football, a tough ball game, 3-2 this past week against Sandy Creek. Coach, one of the things that you had all season long is a young man that's taken some hits, but he gets right back up every time. I think he's one of your great leaders on your team, and that the young man, Mr. Crawford, beside you.
Yeah, Charles has stepped in. You never want your kid to be defined as a Timex who takes a licking and keeps on ticking. But his leadership and poise in the pocket and learning a brand new scheme and learning my language and my verbatim and being able to go out and execute and show leadership on the field. He's cerebral from a standpoint. No matter how long the play call is, he's able to take it out, recite it, break it down, and really go through his progressions and his reads and has led our team. And the biggest part is as you're in that kind of rebuilding and getting started, he's taken the bull by the horns, and he won the starting job and has never looked back. And I don't think anybody on the team's questioned his leadership and his confidence. And I thought last week, 2 weeks ago against Troop, he had a breakout game, and we kind of felt like that was going to get him over the hump from a standpoint of to go against a great defense and throw the ball with poise. Certainly when you got King, the Alabama commit, coming off the edge in your face, those are ominous situations. And Charles handled it well. And again, we're super excited about all the possibilities that we got going forward. He'd be the first junior returning two-year starter that I've ever coached in high school football as a quarterback. I've always had to bring in a new one and redevelop a new one. And again, as he gets more and more competent in the system, or confident in the system and the offensive line and the running backs and the receivers, and everybody kind of is able to pull in and pull a big chunk of their weight. The possibilities are endless with this one.
Charles, you had a season that's been tough. You've had to kind of get up off the mat with your team. Talk about some of the more positive things. What are some of the things you'll really take away from this season?
Just getting out there with my boys, having fun. Living every moment, taking advantage of every moment, every teaching moment that the coaches give us, and just always trying to come away with a win. But accept learning and getting better from each and every game.
Well, and you're looking ahead. You've got the opportunity to step into this role again next year if things continue to go the way that they're going. I think you've got every opportunity to get 2 wins still, and this year that'd be a nice thing to carry into next year.
Yes, it would.
Now, looking back to the season, I've had the chance to watch you a couple of times. I thought that, of course, the win it had to be something that y'all celebrated in a big way.
Yes, sir. We did. We went over with the band. We celebrated with them. We celebrated with our fans. Celebrated on the way home. It was the first win we've had in a while, so we celebrated pretty hard.
Probably for a week or so. Just hold on to that one.
But it was right back to work.
Yep.
Had to get ready for next week.
Well, you're exactly right. I think that's one of the things that football teaches us that, hey, this is great. Let's enjoy this, but now we have to move on. We talked about the Troop game. I got to watch you in that. Troop, a very stingy defense, and y'all were able to put some points up against them. Talk about how that felt to be able to – 2 big passes you were able to put up against Troop.
It was great. It was very empowering to be able to throw the ball in such a good defense like them and kind of move the ball and make our way down the field and eventually score and get that first score right before the half ended, and then just come out in the second half getting pumped, hyped, ready to go back and score.
Was he your first read on those plays with Ogletree, or did you check down to them? Do you remember how those plays worked out?
Well, first we had to just read the defense, see where they were lining up, see where they were putting their strengths and weaknesses, and just in the first half they had no safety high, so we just kind of read that, and then in the second half they had a safety high, so we just had to kind of adjust off of that and kind of go to the outsides a little bit more.
You sound so smart. I love that. I love it. The coaches over there were hanging like, did he get it? Did he get it? Yeah, you did a great job with that. Well, Charles, your family I know is always behind you. I know your mom and your dad, they're great folks, and your grandparents as well. And we're just proud of the effort that you've given all season long.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, lots more to talk about as we're talking LaGrange High School football right here on Eagle Sports.
Hey folks, T.O.D.D. Todd Parrish here with Kia LaGrange. This October we're going pink for breast cancer awareness. For each new car sold, we'll be donating a portion of our sales to Hope for a Day. This month's featured vehicle is a 2019 Kia Forte FE 6-speed. And yep, it's a rule breaker, a limit pusher. It's style and value rolled into fun. Drive out in yours today for only $15,988. Shop our complete inventory at any time online at KiaLaGrange.com. Help support your local economy.
Stock number 110922. Price plus tax, tag, and title. See Kia LaGrange for complete details.
In 1916, Auto Owners Insurance teamed up with local independent agents so customers could get fast, friendly, local service.
Bravo!
It worked so well, we decided to keep it that way. And 100 years later, we still do things the same way, by teaming up with local independent agents who deliver quality, personal service. Some might call that old school. But then again, maybe everything old is new again. Kind of refreshing, isn't it?
Mallory Agency at MalloryAgency.com. For all your insurance needs, it's the Mallory Agency.
Have you gotten your flu shot? Now is the time. Holmes Pharmacy is the place to get your flu shot. And if you have insurance, it could be free. So don't wait. Drive right up to Holmes Pharmacy and get your flu shot today at Commerce Avenue in LaGrange, inside the Piggly Wiggly at Lee's Crossing, and in Hamilton. And if your doctor feels you need a high-dose flu shot, Holmes Pharmacy has you covered.
Hi, I'm Perry Prather, pharmacist at Holmes Pharmacy. We have your flu shot ready, so come see me or any of my fine staff at Holmes Pharmacy today.
Now back to the Coach's Corner live at Johnny's New York Style Pizza on Eagle 102.3, WLAG 96.9 FM, 1240 AM, and online at eagle1023.com.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner live here from Johnny's Pizza. And Coach, in the break, you and I were talking about just kind of walking down the season, thinking about the teams that you faced, and the point differential is pretty amazing. I think 6 out of the 8 games, you've held them to the lowest score they've had all season long.
Yeah, big part of that is my right-hand man here, Dave Watson's. We were together in Scottsdale, and he was able to understand, I kind of delegated a whole bunch of the offense to my offensive line coach who had been trained underneath my dad and had been with me for the last 3 years. And I was able to go over and coach the defensive side of the ball as a defense coordinator this last year in Scottsdale. And Dave came on and was with us, and he was upstairs in the box helping both sides and just instrumental from a standpoint. And so when we got here and I called him, I said, Dave, man, I need your help. And he was like, Coach, man, that's 1,900 miles away. I said, come on, man, let's be the Beverly Hillbillies. And so, again, it's one of those where he's come over and the ability to just delegate it out and watch somebody that just has a passion for coaching and building young men and do it with a an excellence it's not common around football. And again, what he's done. Again, I think we've held 6 of our 8 opponents to their lowest total points all season. Mm-hmm. And we've been in every football game. We've been competitive. Our kids are able to play a relatively simple scheme, but yet we're able to do some minor twists that he did at the collegiate level when he was coaching for USC. And again, the kids feed off that, and the teams feed off that. And, he's been a huge blessing for me just to have around and keep pushing the kids.
Well, Coach probably was a cheerleader. So.
And our athletic director, too.
Yeah. He's a pretty good guy. Did you see his big book he's carrying around? I don't know that he's actually cracked the page open, but he likes to show the big book that he's reading tonight. Okay, thank you, Coach. Coach Watson, again, appreciate you joining us again here tonight. And it has been, of course, a difficult season, just the one win. But, again, your defense just seems to show up each and every ball game.
Again, it's our defense, and we're fortunate to work with Coach and Quay Huzzy, and obviously the offense service team is giving us a look, and we're able to just focus on one rep at a time in the practice and take the drill work from teamwork and teamwork to games. And it's our process that I think is so important, and our kids' effort, and beginning to love one another and obviously feed off of doing things better than they've ever been done before.
I know it's been tough, of course, for these seniors. They want these victories, and again, I have every belief that. Well, I think you and I talked about this week. I thought the next 3 games were going to be LaGrange's. I really felt that y'all had a really good chance against San Diego, and we were right. I mean, a 3-2 ball game is as close as you could possibly get. And then going ahead to the next 2 ball games, we'll talk about in a moment. But you want to keep these seniors. You want to give them a chance to savor those wins. But you've got a great core of young guys coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we just get better, and we're talking from these guys we're playing a lot of freshmen, we're playing a lot of sophomores, and we're not even talking about the juniors returning. So I mean, it's exciting to be a Granger.
Well, I think that it's also really neat to think of the stuff that will happen after the season, because the off-season workouts that will take place, getting these guys fired up. Some of them playing multiple sports. You both that energy that kind of carries off of that, but getting them ready for spring and then coming into next year is going to be important too.
Yeah, it's an empty portrait and landscape of what these kids are going to be, and it's such an, like I said, it's a great time to be a Granger. These kids are pretty darn good now.
Is that going to be the T-shirt for next year?
No, we're laughing. We were delirious. We had this conversation about 1 a.m. this morning. We were still here. We worked all Sunday evening, and we were talking about, who would have thought we'd be here, and we're in a Sandy Creek 3-2 game in the fourth quarter, and they're moving football. We've got 2 freshmen interior defensive linemen, and we got 2 sophomores starting on the edges. And as we talk about our talented seniors and everything, just to give you just a glimpse of the great amount of coaching that Dave's bringing to the table is to have the confidence to play against a Sandy Creek and or Troop the previous week with freshmen and sophomores on along the line, and you're going against kids that got SEC offers. Right. And it just goes to show, we were literally delirious. I think it was like 12:50, and I said, "Hey, man, I got to go." He had already started. Let's plan in our off-season workouts and mat drills, and I said, man, I'm ready to tap out. I think he stayed till like 3 a.m. this morning, but I was exhausted. And we're one game at a time, and we're at that spot of just teaching these kids to love each other. We got the next 2 weeks to usher out our seniors in the best way we know possible. And we want to build those kids, and hopefully they'll hold on and fight through these next 2 games the way they fought, because I do think it creates a fortitude in their persona. They're going to be able to fight for their wives. They're going to be able to fight for their kids and their families and their future careers. And we know that those are the hallmark traits of what it means like to live as a champion. And we're excited about that going forward. We just again. Opportunity presents itself again Friday night, where we get to go out and test our execution against a very quality opponent. Sandy Creek was in the Chapel Hill game, or Chapel Hill was in the Sandy Creek game. Yep. They beat Central, who beat us. They play Cedartown next week, and super talented kids. They got probably as much talent on their sidelines as we do. And, they're still fighting for that number 4 spot in our region. And so we know, like every other team, LaGrange is going to always get their best.
Oh, yeah.
And but I see it, from practice today. Our kids don't back down. they haven't shied away from a contest and a competitive situation yet, and I don't anticipate them doing so this week.
All right, we'll talk about that and wrap things up here from Johnny's Pizza. When we come right back, right now you're listening to the Coach's Corner live from Johnny's Pizza on Eagle Sports.
Deciding to sell or buy a home is a big step. To make sure it's the step in the right direction, choose the person best qualified to handle your real estate needs. Joel and Rob Upchurch have been breaking sales records every year since 1997. They truly are the real estate leaders in West Georgia. So take a step in the right direction. Contact Joel or Rob Upchurch at RE/MAX Results because they are dedicated to results and converting transactions into relationships. Hello, Granger fans. The Mike Patton Auto family is your local team that does not practice to get it right, but to make sure they don't get it wrong. They strive to give you a great experience each time you give them the opportunity. They understand you have options of where you go to purchase and service your truck, car, and SUV. But come see why thousands of customers keep coming back to Mike Patton time after time. We appreciate your time and business with a quality service department, and we look forward to taking care of you in the years to come. Now, go Grangers!
At WellStar West Georgia Medical Center, we believe teamwork makes all the difference in your health. We believe that skilled people can achieve higher standards and exceptional results. We believe in a game plan that's focused on patient safety and quality care. At WellStar West Georgia Medical Center in LaGrange, we believe in life well lived. To learn more about award-winning healthcare, visit wellstar.org/WGMC.
The Medicine Cabinet is excited to announce the opening of their third store in the Lee's Crossing community at 1704 Roanoke Road in LaGrange. Stop in and meet the staff. Pharmacist Tommy Whitworth will be leading the team. They offer home delivery inside city limits, a drive-through, and no long lines to wait in. Check out their medication compliance programs, a safe and efficient way to organize medications. Their coffee shop will be opening soon. The Medicine Cabinet is a locally owned pharmacy, plus a little more.
Now back to the Coach's Corner live at Johnny's New York Style Pizza on Eagle 102.3, WLAG 96.9 FM, 1240 AM, and online at eagle1023.com.
Well, Coach, I was reading in the paper this week your interview with Kevin Eckelberry from LaGrange Daily News, and a lot of people use this when they're talking in public, but very seldom do you see it actually quoted in the paper that this isn't horseshoes or hand grenades. The close is still not counting.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's military weapons and horseshoes, the only time where close really matters. And, we've said it, man, this is Groundhog Day. Yeah. We're from Hurd to Callaway to Hampton to Central to Cedartown to Sandy Creek, the ones that got away. And not that we were necessarily more talented than any of those programs, but, when we coach every game, we expect to win.
Yeah.
And, we called the games, and, we've had this conversation where, the Cartersville game was the one game that kind of got away from us, and it was one that, we were playing a very well-coached team, and we felt like we needed, some advanced schemes. And sometimes you coach over the level of over the heads of your players. And so we brought it back down in, and, we had already talked about our two different defensive schemes and mindsets that we were going to attack Troop with. And then, we felt like with Sandy Creek, we could not dumb it down, but we could simplify it and run our base concepts with, a couple stunts and a couple twitches, a couple pressures, and a couple different coverages, and be able to contain a very talented, offense. And, I don't know how many they put up on the rest of the programs, but I know they put up more than 3 on everyone.
Yeah.
And again, and our kids are responding, and they're playing hard. And, we've had, 3 or 4 kids that are game time decisions every week since Callaway. And, we still got starters that are out, and it's been next man up. It's been, who's going to answer the call. And, I keep harping on, these character traits of our kids, but that's what football does for you. I mean, it's a vehicle that actually lets us teach these kids life lessons in real time, with a lot of pressure dialed up in. And, the only thing I know that is, a lot more strenuous than that is, being over in combat.
Yeah, sure. Coach Watson, think about the defense. Is there a guy that's really you're just amazed week in and week out? He's just in there, just going after trying to bring everybody along with him that you might want to mention?
I would hate to call out one guy. We have 9 to 10 guys, and on every given snap that are given 100%.
Sure.
Most of the times it's 11, and that's why you play great defense. So no, I would hate to start doing the name deal.
Hey, no problem with that.
We so.
Going into this next ball game, Chapel Hill. Last week they lost to Cartersville 51-0. So they're coming off a tough loss. And it'd be a lovely thing in my mind to put another loss on top of that going into this week.
Well, 51-0 against Cartersville. They beat us 45-7, and we got a pick six, and early in the third quarter. So, we've been there. You look at their record. I think they're 5-3, and and we're 1-7. I know all the. They'll be favored coming in. They're fighting for a playoff spot. They're not going to overlook us. They're I don't think they're quite as talented as Cedartown or Chapel or Sandy Creek, but I think they're right there with them. And again, our issue is we got to continue focusing on us and getting better. Having Charles here tonight again. We had a conversation over there over a slice of pizzas. What are some of the kids' thoughts? What are your thoughts for us to we've had more touchdowns called back than we've scored this year, and that troubles you from a standpoint. We know we've got an offense that when they click, they're extremely talented. We got to get them clicking more. We got to get points on the board, and we got to get defensive stops and maybe a couple more turnovers or takeaways in our case. And
also your special teams has been playing lights out as well.
Yeah, and you know what? We'd be remiss if we didn't shout out. We made Wesley Kuhn one of our team captains Friday night against Sandy Creek. I think he's a number 1 or number 2 punter in the state of Georgia. Has never had a punt lesson, and he has saved us from loose snaps, getting punt off, one-step punt, and he's still over a 40-yard average, and that kid's going to be kicking for a college on Saturday.
All right. Well, Coach, I appreciate y'all both joining us as we've had the Coach's Corner from LaGrange, from Johnny's Pizza, talking about LaGrange High School. Invite you to join us next week. Don't forget, this is Friday night, right?
Friday night.
That's right. I've done 3 shows tonight, so I'm getting confused. I got Callaway Thursday. Friday night, as Chapel Hill will come into Callaway Stadium, invite you to join them out there. Michael Buchanan, Tommy Whitworth will be bringing that game to you live here on Eagle Sports. For Coach, for all the guys back at the station, we thank you so much, and we'll see you next week on the radio.